Hey everyone, it's Alec with It Takes Guts. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm back with more One Piece, chapter 1117, and this one is kind of the trailing end of the Egghead Vegapunk speech that's been happening these last couple of chapters. We just got back from a little bit of a break and looks like we got no break ahead of us, so very excited to see these next couple of ending results of Egghead's final chapters here, so let's get into this. Now, I gotta start, first page, everyone's saying it. Is that Don Krieg? Is that Gin? Is that Pearl? I really have no idea. I mean, the pictures I've seen online, the people that have been pointing this out, it looks like it. I wish Oda maybe did like a little bit more emphasis, maybe drawn them a little bit thicker. I don't know, I'm not a thicker person, but like lines, I mean. I don't know what I would like more, but it looks like them, I think, so I'm gonna call them because the internet's saying it, so I'll say it. We got Don Krieg back. First time in who knows how long. Gin back, you know, the two legendary characters that really haven't returned in the story. Very cool to see. And even though we got Smoker later on in the chapter too. Again, these panels really don't add up to a whole lot. We're not really going any story way with these characters right now, but so cool. This is why One Piece is fun. It feels like a real other fantasy world you're just peering into because we finally see these characters that have been doing something. I'm sure if you asked Oda, he would tell you what Don Krieg's been doing. He'd tell you what Gin's been doing and Pearl and these characters that to us have been off screen for decades. But here we are. We got the characters. Very cool to see. Now, my favorite cutaway to a character this chapter has to be going back to Jaya, seeing the people diving for treasure again, talking about this speech, which I guess they got a transponder snail. I'm kind of confused. Sometimes I forget who does and doesn't actually have the equipment to, like, receive Vegapunk's message. But he's got it. Cricket's got it. I think it was Cricket. But he's got the message, and he's just talking about how it's, like, romantic to go and dive deeper down in the ocean and find this lost civilization that Vegapunk's saying is buried under 200 meters of seawater. So I found that to be really cool. That's kind of the essence of One Piece, the romance of adventure, romance dawn, you know. That's what a lot of this is really about. It's always about the adventure. That's what the stories have been about. That's why I tell One Piece fans all the time, stop trying to get to Wano or get to this moment, get to nothing happened, get to Enies Lobby. These moments will come, but you're never going to really enjoy them for what they really are if you're not just happy to go along the way, if you're not just excited to be with the Straw Hats doing something. I know moment to moment One Piece doesn't have the punch that some of the bigger things do have in the story, but I think that's what One Piece is cool about. It's fun living in Oda's world. I like listening to Oda's characters as he writes these bombastic interactions, you know? I think that's what One Piece is truly about, and I find that to be a great thing to go and kind of focus in on, and that's what these, you know, cutaways have been about to me too. Moving along with the story, we see Kobe's crew who just got back from Pirate Island with Blackbeard, and they're all banged up. Kobe's talking about how he can't write any of this down right now. He's just thinking out loud, and we see X-Drake made it back from Wano somehow, which very crazy, very interesting. I don't know if anyone really cares about X-Drake anymore. I kind of do. He's a supernova. He's a really, you know, interesting character on multiple different factions, but I don't know. We got X-Drake. Moving even further, we see a really cool scene how Jinbei actually throws Zoro over to block the attack from Nasjuro. Very cool. I love seeing that happen where, like, the Straw Hats are freaking out how, like, they're not on the ship yet, but, like, Zoro and Jinbei are on that time, able to go and throw him up there. And then we get what everyone seems to be waiting for. The scene where they clash with Nasjuro and Zoro sees the other Kitetsu blade that Nasjuro has. And I think that's really interesting. It sets up the matchup in the future, of course. I can't wait to see how that plays out, but really cool to see. Dope panel too. Loved how it looked in the manga, actually. And we actually got some really cooler panels later on too. We finally got some feats with the Vice Admirals for once, seeing them duke it out with the Giants. I thought those panels are very cool to see. Finally giving the Vice Admirals some credit, especially with a chapter with Smoker in it. Make them look good. Come on now. So that was awesome. So to me, now the important part of the chapter. Vegapunk's message gets cut off by the 5 elders attacking the Giant. And that to me is really crazy. Mostly because it gets cut off right when Vegapunk is saying to me one of the most important things. He's finally going to tell us about the Will of D. Not really what it is, but he's calling out someone in this world right now living with the Will of D, saying that there's someone different, not like them, other. I'm not sure. He could be alluding to Blackbeard, alluding to Luffy, maybe Law, maybe Vivi. I'm not sure where that's going, but we're kind of at the point, we're 1100 chapters into One Piece. These, moments of information just being covered up. It was cool to see it with Cobra in front of the 5 elders. I think that was cool. This, though, I mean, I get it. Oda's telling a story. We have more things to figure out. One Piece is going longer. We know there's more things to discover about the world of One Piece in general. But as a longtime reader, man, and watcher and fan, it feels like we're at the point where we should be learning some of this stuff. And so I don't know. Let me know how you think in the comments down there if you think that should have been a little bit more explained. I'm happy with the message being cut. I thought that was going to happen regardless, but where it is, I wish we got something about the Will of D, something that we knew. Not that we didn't get new information with this entire message. I think it was an awesome time to go and read through this stuff. But a lot of this stuff we expected, we kind of hypothesized. And not to say the Will of D stuff wouldn't be either, the Will of Dawn or something. We would, demons. We would think, we thought of things before. To go along with that, the panel that shows Luffy and the Giants talking about the boar, and like, where's the boar? And then it shows the Iron Giant, or the ancient robot, whatever you want to call it, behind all the 5 elders. That panel looked crazy. I love the contrast of the super light panel with Luffy and the Giants to the very dark and shaded panel. I love when Oda does that, like, just really weird contrast with light in those panels. It was so nice. Very well done. One of the better panels in this chapter to me, and I love to see it. But also the board just kind of takes out the Giant. Like, it wasn't like an all 5 elders like going crazy on him. It was just the board just kind of blows it up and the message stops. So I kind of thought the Iron Giant was going to be a bit more talked about. I thought the Ancient Robot was going to be more, like, in the story, maybe. Just the way the ending of some of these chapters had with the panel of showing the Iron Giant awakening and, oh, it's rumbling or it's moving, and then we finally saw it moving, and then it was moving, it was causing damage, and then it just got blopped, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see more of it, but I kind of wanted a little bit more of the Iron Giant. I'm sure the anime will make it look crazy, but to me, at least, I kind of wanted more, or at least I wanted all 5 elders to just jump it and blow it up in some super crazy new attack. That would have been cool, but just seeing the board do it, I was like, my man deserved more. He was really building to something. He deserved a little bit more, so I don't know. I'm hoping we get more lore on what that is, what its mission to Mars Joie was back 200-300 years ago. I really think that's a really cool part of the story, and I hope we don't end it with this kind of chapter. Well, that's what I got today for One Piece chapter 1117. Really cool stuff in this one. Ending of Vegapunk's speech, to me, I don't know. Let me know how you feel about this chapter. I said my thing about the Iron Giant or the Ancient Robot. I said my piece about how I thought the message was ended. Let me know. I was a little critical in this chapter because I wanted a little bit more in some of these scenarios. I still love how it will play out. I'm sure the anime will do it great, and I'm sure next chapter is going to be just as hype, so we'll see where we go. Let me know what you thought down below. Like the video if you're still here. Please like the video, my friend. Otherwise, you already know it takes guts to subscribe, so have a great day, everyone.